You guys, I am back with more information. XINYAN, as you do know, is going to be on the Zone League banner. Y'all already know this. Y'all get the gist. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all already know this. But, as you do know, there's a video that is about to upload today. But this is going to be tomorrow. So, you get this. This is pre-recorded. But what I'm saying is, I made a video on why XINYAN is going to support Zone League extremely heavily, depending on how you want to build her, whether that's support or DPS. She's going to support him really good. Basically, I made that video. It's going to be out today, which is yesterday, which is Nani? Okay, anyway, guys, this video is about XINYAN and how should you build her. Not even how should you build her. Which way would you want to build her? Up to you. It's optional. I'm just going to give out what ways you can build her, whether that's as a DPS or whether that is as a support. So, without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we do get into this video, if you are new, yeah, you beautiful, beautiful human, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,200. We are over halfway there. Let's hit this goal by the end of this month. Oh my god, please. It would be so cool if we hit 1,200 subscribers on the day that we give away the $100. That would just top my life, literally. So, anyway, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,200 on the Genshin and Grand Cross grind. Y'all already know. And also, smash that like button down below. You're going to enjoy this content. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go over XINYAN, a little bit about her, and like what can she possibly do, what builds can she possibly have with all her passives and attacks and how they work and whatnot. So as you can see, she is a Pyro Claymore user, and she is a darn good Pyro Claymore user for the fact that not only you know the normal attacks, not only she does that, she has her elemental skill, which provides a really good support as well as DPS. You're probably asking why. If you don't know much about XINYAN, I'm going to explain it to you. Just give me one moment. So, right here, XINYAN brandishes her instrument, dealing pyro damage to nearby enemies and forming a shield made out of the audience's passion. AKA, the audience's passion is the enemies. When she hits that enemy, it literally makes the shield out of how many enemies she hits. As you can see, it says right here, once you hit 0 to 1 enemies, it grants a shield level of 1, which is ad-lib. And then hitting 2 enemies grants a shield level of 2, which is lead-in. And hitting 3 or more enemies grants a shield level of 3, which is rave, which can also deal intermittent pyro damage to nearby enemies. The shield has the following special properties. When unleashed, it infuses XINYAN with pyro, meaning I'm pretty sure if it infuses XINYAN with pyro as soon as you put the shield on, if you swap over to another character, it'll infuse them with pyro, and you probably can proc an elemental reaction. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comment section below. But if it does like infuse her, and it can swap over to another character once you put the shield on, you can swap over to like a Hydro, say for example, and proc vaporization from elemental reactions, right? So I don't know. Quote me on that in the comment section down below, right? It also has a 250% damage absorption, which makes it really tanky, and that's why I'm saying she can either be a DPS or she can be a support. She's a very flexible unit, and I really like that about her. So let's go over her elemental burst as well. When she does her elemental burst, it's called Rift Revolution, right? Strumming rapidly, XINYAN launches nearby enemies and deals physical damage to them. Hyping up the crowd. The sheer intensity of the atmosphere will cause explosions that deal pyro damage to nearby enemies, which is when she literally does the rock and roll thing. I'm going to show a video of her attacks and whatnot after we go over her passives and whatnot, right? So let's go over her passives. Okay, as you can see, these 3 passives, there's one for the map like every character has. It's when perfect cooking is achieved on a defense boosting dish. XINYAN has a 12% chance to obtain double the product. Okay, so now here are the important passives. The show goes on even without an audience. This decreases the, basically is what it's saying is, decreases the number of enemies sweeping fervor must hit to trigger each level of shielding. Meaning, like, say for example, you have to hit 0 to 1 enemy to trigger level 1. Well, now if you want level 2, it's required, all you gotta do is hit 1 enemy. You get level 2. You want level 3, now it's reduced to 2 enemies. So you hit 2 enemies or more and you get level 3. So unlocking this passive will be really good and beneficial to you, so you can skip that level 1, and it'll just make it way better. And if you're in crowds, this will be extremely good. And I'm also thinking about her weapon build as well, which we will go over shortly, what her best weapon can potentially be. But before we do that, let's go over these passives. That passive is really, really good for crowd control. I'm thinking that she is going to be a really, really good Abyss DPS or Abyss support. And also her other passive, which is where she continues to amaze me on how she can do DPS and do defense and support, right? Characters shielded by her shield, which is her elemental skill, is their physical damage is increased by 15%. And that really is a good amount. Now, this unit has multiple builds you could do. I really want to go over support first. Now, let's get onto this footage of XINYAN and explain furthermore on why she could be a DPS or a support, right? Shout out to KCKL, literally it's KCKELL. Shout out to him or her, and thank you for this footage as well, because like I literally didn't feel like going back to find it. As you can see, she just literally put on the elemental skill and she's dealing pyro damage. Now, what this is doing is as soon as you proc the shield, this could be used for DPS for her, or once you proc that shield, that is her elemental burst, by the way. Once you proc that shield and you get you're infused with pyro damage, now you're dealing pyro damage, right? You can swap over to another element, hydro, electro, you know, and literally do tons of damage based off of having the elemental reactions infused with pyro, right? So that, I feel like that is a very fat support skill, and that can be used so well. And depending on how long this shield can be on, it'll be monstrous what you could do with elemental reactions just from that shield, and also from the 15% increased physical attack that you're getting from the shield, right? This makes her extremely broken, and this will also be used for her for a DPS to boost her pyro damage, right? You're getting more pyro damage on normal attacks, you're getting the 15% increased physical attack damage, and then you're literally shielded, and depending on what set you run, you could have even more stats, which we are about to go over shortly. Now, as you can see, this is her elemental burst right here. Boom, she does physical damage, and then she does tons of pyro damage, which can proc reactions and whatnot, which is really cool. So that is really about it for this character. That is so unique. I like how she's built, and I like how she could be a DPS or she could be a support. So let's go over her builds. We'll go over her support build first, okay? Alright guys, here is the piece for her support. Now there's two ways you can run this support. You could run a 4-piece bolide, retracing bolide set, and you're probably asking why would I run this? This is one of the many choices. You can run this because the 2-piece set not only increases the shield strength by 35%, so you're getting extremely strong shield. So like, your shield won't break basically, and you'll be able to keep your shield throughout the whole duration, meaning you can proc all those elemental reactions. And if you have good elemental mastery, you're gonna do tons of more additional damage, right? So anyway, like I was saying, 2-piece set increases the shield strength by 35%, which supports the team on having a stronger defense shield. And as you do know, her shield is based off of her defense, so the more defense you have on your XINYAN, the more shield strength she's going to have. So make sure, if you want to build her as a support, to possibly get a lot of defense boosts on your main stats, whether that's on your Eon Them, whether that's on your Eon, or whether that's on your Goblet. So you don't have to put it on all stats unless you want to OD. It's up to you how you want to build your team, like I said. But it will be very wise to have defense stat to increase the shield strength even further, which will make her even more tanky support, as well as a support for elemental reactions, right? And then we have the 4-piece set. While protected by a shield, you gain an additional 40% normal and charge attack. This applies to her. Say for example you want to run like her as a DPS maybe. You can run this set if you want to run her as DPS, but the 4-piece set really doesn't like apply to the team, right? It applies only to XINYAN. So the 2-piece set increasing the shield strength is very more viable to support the team, especially since her passive already supports the DPS with her shield, and also like, you know, she's gonna be really tanky, so you're not gonna be taking a lot of damage. And this is very important because when you're in Abyss, you're gonna have a lot of enemies, and you want to take as little damage as possible so that you can defeat it as easy as possible, right? So what I'm thinking is you can run a retracing bolide set as well as a so the second piece you could probably run with the retracing bolide, like the next 2-piece, is maybe, say for example you want to OD on defense, you get a main stat of defense on one of your, whether that's Eon Them, or your Goblet, and then you get the plus 30% defense of the Defender's Will. This will boost her shield to be even more stronger, and it would be very beneficial to have a stronger shield. But like I said, it really depends on how you want to build her. But she can also go with one more set. The last set is, yes, you probably guessed it, the Retracing Bolide, as well as the Crimson Witch of Flames 2-piece set. You're probably saying why? Well, that pyro damage bonus once you do the elemental skill will do a significantly better piece of damage once you do it. So you're gonna do a little bit more damage, as well as proc the elemental reactions, as well as have a extremely strong shield. Depending on how you build, like I said, you have options. You could build with Defender's Will and Retracing, or you could do like either way. What you want mainly, if you're going for support, is Retracing Bolide. Either a 2-piece or you can run the 4-piece. It's completely up to you. Now, let's go ahead and go over the DPS sets that you can have on your XINYAN. Alright, now for DPS, the first set I want to mention is it's clearly obvious, a 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flame set. And the reason I'm saying this is because of the pyro damage bonus you will gain, as well as increasing overload burning damage by 40%, and increasing vaporize and melt damage by 15%, and using an elemental skill increases 2-piece set effects by 50% for 10 seconds for a max of 3 stacks. So that means you'll have a plus 10%, 50% of the 2-piece set, right? So this is going to be really good for her. Even though the set is really heavily meant for Diluc, literally because of the max stack of 3. This set's going to be really good for her because of the fact that she's going to be doing tons of pyro damage. And also, because of her shield, you know, she's literally infusing herself with pyro. So you're going to constantly do pyro damage. And not only that, but on your Eon Them, and your Goblet, what you want to try to get is crit rate, crit damage, and more pyro damage. You're probably saying, why crit rate? Well, if you summon on Zhongli banner, the chances of you pulling multiple XINYANs is a lot. So I'm going on a guess right now. But if you have Constellation 1 for XINYAN, the more you crit with your XINYAN, this will increase your attack speed of her normal and charge attacks by 12% for 5 seconds. And this can only occur every 5 seconds. So every time you crit, you're going to increase your normal and charge attacks by 12%, the attack speed, of course. So you're going to be hitting way faster. And like I said, this is really, really useful for her for Abyss, because she seems like a unit that can absolutely destroy Abyss with her shield proccing, giving her a lot of damage absorption, and also infusing her with pyro, and also her passive of giving her 15% increased physical damage, and also her passive of boosting the shield level to proc faster and go up faster, right? Another set you could possibly run on her is the Crimson Witch of Flames 2-piece set, as well as the Bloodstained Chivalry. If you want to see more white damage, this is optional. If you want to see more white damage, which you're probably not going to be doing, since you're going to be infusing yourself with a lot of pyro. So this set isn't really viable, but it is an option for y'all that want to do just white damage. Physical set, the physical 2-piece set, basically for the plus 25% physical damage, plus the 2-piece of the Crimson Witch of Flames. I'm not going to go in detail about that because that set isn't really viable for her, for how she's built and how she actually works. But let's go over the last set for XINYAN. You probably guessed it, but yes, it is the 2-piece set of the Gladiators Finale, as well as the 2-piece set of the Crimson Witch of Flames for the 15% increased pyro damage. This is going to be increasing your attack by 18%. I mean, you can run a 4-piece set if you want on your XINYAN of the Glads Finale, but you would, like I said, have to get crit damage, crit rate, and possibly pyro damage on your Eon Them, and your Goblet. You have to get these main stats if possible, and your substats have to be crit rate and crit damage if possible, guys, right? So you can run the 4-piece Glad on your XINYAN, but you can also run the 2-piece Glad and 2-piece Crimson Witch of Flames, and like I said, with the exact Eon Them, and Goblet main stats, right? So there's plenty of options you could do for your XINYAN, and always make sure if you want to increase your attack speed, have as much crit rate as possible because of the Constellation 1. This is if you have Constellation 1. If you get really lucky and pull, like, you know, a lot of dupes of her while you're pulling for Zhongli, go ahead and get some crit rate, because that will definitely be really good. Either way, crit rate's going to be good for her as long as you have a lot of crit damage. And that is what we're going to also go over with her weapon. So actually, let's move on to her weapon and like combine what I'm saying for the main stats on the artifacts, right? Okay, you guys, here it is right here. This is the Black Cliff Slasher. As you do know, this is in the shop right now, even though the shop refreshes in like 6 to 5 days, I believe, or you know, like less, like 4 days probably now. So the reason I said go for crit rate a lot on your XINYAN, not a lot, but as in like crit rate only, you want to go for crit rate, crit damage, and pyro on our Eon Them, and her Goblet. Please remember that, because if you run the Black Cliff Slasher, and as you've seen in the footage that I showed you on YouTube, she was running the Black Cliff Slasher. This is why she's going to be a heavy support or heavy DPS in the Abyss, because the Black Cliff Slasher provides not only this base attack of 266 or more, because mine isn't maxed out yet, it's only level 50, and refinement 1. You can refine this if you have a lot of star glitter, which you're going to probably get from the Zhongli's banner, but it'll probably, by the time we get Zhongli's banner, the shop will be reset and we probably won't have the Black Cliff anymore. But basically, this sword is perfect for her because of the crit damage, and like I said, since on Constellation 1, the more she crits, because if she crits, right, she's going to crit somebody, and after she crits somebody, she's going to increase her attack speed by 12%, guys. 12%, that is a lot, and that means she's going to be able to hit faster, and that doesn't mean necessarily harder. But if you have crit damage and your crit rate is pretty high, you're going to be doing this every single time, proccing her Constellation 1, right? And then not only that, if you put the shield on, you're going to have the physical attack damage, right? So even though the physical attack damage won't matter once she puts her shield on, she's going to be doing pyro damage, and physical attack damage is white damage, right? So this is going to work really well, because after defeating an enemy, attack is increased by 12% for 30 seconds. This can stack up to 3 times. This is only refinement 1, meaning this could go to a max of 36% attack increase for 30 seconds, guys. This is good for Abyss because, like I said, she's literally going to be tanking. She's going to be doing extra damage from her passive if you don't have the shield on. Then when you put the shield on, she's going to be doing pyro damage, plus your artifacts pyro damage that you have on your Eon Them, or your Goblet. And then she's going to have a high crit rate, because like I said, you have to have crit rate on one of your Eon Them, or Goblet. And then she's going to have the crit damage of this weapon and the crit damage of one of your main stats on your artifacts, right? And you're going to be chunking out tons of damage, tons and tons of damage as a DPS for Abyss. Now, I feel like in my opinion, how I'm probably going to play her if I do pull her is going to be as a support, because it's just how I want to play her and how I want to proc like elemental reactions. Like, probably going to put her on a team with Child and see how that goes when I proc her her passive with her shield, and then see what can happen when I use Child with hydro damage, right? And we'll see what vaporization can do with that shield on, right? So anyway, guys, literally, she can be a broken DPS or a broken support. It's completely up to you. Like, this game is all about what you want, how much fun you want to have. I just wanted to give you ideas today on what she can do, what builds you can put on her. And also in the last video, there were team builds that I have mentioned. You can literally refer to the last video, which will be linked at the end of this video, which is almost there. So bear with me, guys. I know y'all are tired of hearing me talk. So basically, there's a video of her, on how to team build her, and what teams are really good with her. Not what teams are really good with her, but how she pairs well with Zhongli really well, and what team you could run with Zhongli and XINYAN, right? So watch that, definitely, if you want to see some, you know, some more advice and whatnot, and opinions, and best stuff, right? But anyway, guys, that's really about it for this video. She is absolutely going to be an insane 4-star. I love the fact that she's flexible with support and DPS, and I can't wait till she comes to the game. I hope you all have luck pulling Zhongli as well as XINYAN. I hope you get Constellation 6 XINYAN and Constellation 6 Zhongli some way, somehow. Okay, guys? So I wish y'all the best of luck, and I appreciate everybody that came to watch this video. Let me know down below if you have any type of builds that you are going to build your XINYAN, or, you know, like, what weapon are you going to put on your XINYAN? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear these ideas, because this game has endless options, okay, guys? So definitely let me know down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and smash the like button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,200, guys. We are almost there. We are halfway there, and there's no other way. I would love for you to join the subscribers on this grind. Join the Whisker family. We are all welcoming you, and we all love you guys. So thank you very much for the support and everything. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing, and I love you, and I will catch you later. Good luck with your Zhongli summons, and also stay awesome.